Hello everyone, my name is Yusif Inusah, a PhD student from Akdeniz University here in Antalya, Turkey. I am to present to you on that topic, the effects of pandemic on the construction sector, a case of coronavirus. The authors are Professor Dr. Aynur Kazaz and myself, Inusah Yusif. So let me quickly introduce our topics to you in the next slide. So prior to the emergence of COVID-19, the construction sector continued to actually grow at a fast rate due to the technological advancement. So the projection of the construction sector was actually from the previous year 2.6 in 2019 to 3.1% in 2020. However, it was actually revised to 0.5 due to the impact of the COVID-19. So as the construction industry continued to face the challenges, which some of them can be deemed as anticipated, example, labor shortage, prices of material being high, and then a rapid advancement in technology, and then some of the unexpected ones being the wildfires, the earthquakes, the epidemics, pandemics, and then so on and so forth. So it actually affects the sector in so many ways. So the construction industry actually has faced COVID-19, and then measures and then protocols, regulations have been put place by the World Health Organization and the governmental agencies to actually restrict the spread or to curb the spread of the disease, and then it has actually crippled the sector. It has restricted the construction, and then it has restricted the progress of works or the activities in the construction industry. So we intend to actually research into the main impact of the COVID-19 that has actually affected the construction industry. So some of the main pandemics that has ever hit the world include the Spanish flu, which actually occurred between 1918 and 1919, Hong Kong flu between 1968 and 1970, and then the current one, which is COVID-19, that was actually recorded firstly in December 2019 until present. So the emergence of the COVID-19 was actually recorded in Wuhan by the Chinese health authorities in December 2019. And then upon the assessment of the pandemic by the World Health Organization, it actually declared it as a pandemic on the 11th March 2020. So the construction industry or the sector being hit hard at all the phases due to the measures that have been put place to curb the spread of the pandemic. It is actually causing havoc to people, the construction sector, and then disrupting everything. So it continues to spread globally, disrupting construction activities, leading to prompt guidance and protocols, as well as regulations. So this has actually affected the economy, project bidding, employment, project delays, supply chains, disruption, legal issues, among others. So the purpose of the study is to identify the main impact of COVID-19 in the construction sector. So the findings of the study will help the stakeholders in the construction industry to actually take into consideration the key potential impact of the pandemic that will enable them in their planning and decision making in their future projects. So the study will serve as a reference for future studies and help the construction sector identify main areas in case there is an outbreak of pandemic or epidemic any time in the future. So the study actually employed quantitative research methods, and then online survey was used as the main tool for the data collection. So the questionnaire was prepared. To determine the impact of COVID-19 in the construction sector. So a total of 24 questions were prepared. So the construction firms the questionnaires were administered to the Turkish construction firms executing projects both within Turkey and then outside Turkey within the period of the COVID-19. So prior to the formation of the questions or the questionnaire, a literature was reviewed to actually ascertain or to find the main causes of the pandemics, and then was also used as a draft form for the questionnaires. So the survey was conducted online between June and then July 2020. So when it comes to the results and then the discussion, it was found out that supply chain was one of the main impacts of the COVID-19, which saw ban on international and then intercity travels being one of the causes of the supply chain disruption, followed by the compliance to government directives, which specifically the lockdown, and then followed by the pricing, and then followed by supplier staff being infected with coronavirus and then subsequently being quarantined, and then financial difficulties, and then transport workers not working. So another impact is the bidding disruption, which saw 33% of the respondents said that they have actually encountered disruption in their bidding process, while 67% did not encounter any bidding disruption. And then this resulted in 72% being rescheduled for further notice, whilst 20% were either cancelled or rescheduled, and then 8% were cancelled outright. So another impact was delay of construction projects. So in the delay of construction projects, labor shortage, and then lockdown orders from the government recorded 28% each, while shortage of construction material, equipment or machine parts followed with 25%, and then disruption in the subcontractors' delivery and the legal battle followed in that order. So the project, the impact on labor also saw the government government order to halt non-essential activities, or the lockdown actually was the main cause of the low labor shortage, which also followed by the border closures or the travel bans, followed by the fear of being infected with COVID-19. So this also resulted in project delays, and then it was also followed by higher labor rates, and then renegotiation of a contract, and then termination of contract. So legal issue was also another challenge that was actually found, and then 38% was 38% of the causes of legal tussle was as a result of non-compliance of government restriction orders, and then which followed by the delay of work, and then material supply chain disruption, and then delay in paying claims followed in that order. So in as much as we wanted to find out from the firms what actually led to the stoppage or them halting their projects, it was emerged that lockdown and travel bans were the main, or was the main reason why they actually halted their project, which followed by the fear of the workers being contracting or being infected with COVID-19, and then that's one also followed by the comply to halt non-essential activities, and then loss of private funding, payment issues, legal issues followed in that order. So globally, all construction activities were one way or the other being halted. So we wanted to find out why, the general reasons why construction activities have been halted. So it was emerged that global economic uncertainty is one of the main reasons that could affect the construction industry, or that has affected the construction industry. And then that is the main reason why construction activities were halted. So that one also followed by labor shortage, employment or the job issues, which was followed by the construction materials supply chain disruption, and then project delays, disruption of bidding process, and then cost overruns, among others, were some of the main reasons why projects were halted during the outbreak of the COVID-19. So in the conclusion section, we will see that this research actually constitutes the basis for further study regarding the impact of COVID-19 in the second wave, since some countries are still battling with the first wave, while others are facing the second wave of the pandemic. So this study clearly revealed that economic uncertainty, labor shortages, unemployment, or employment issue, project delays, legal issues, material supply chain disruption, and the bidding process disruption were recorded as some of the main effects of COVID-19. Cost overrun, shortage of subcontractors, lack of project financing, and capital liquidity crunch are other major impacts of COVID-19. So this study therefore concludes that the construction industry has been enormously been affected by the pandemic, and then the main impacts must critically be taken into consideration by the construction firms before entering into a new contract to actually help them to actually decide and then plan well before they sign a new contract to actually minimize the impact of future future pandemics. So below are some of the references that was used. So after the study is being published, the full references will be shown, and then you can make references to all of them. So thank you very much for your attention. And then any questions, if you have any questions, suggestions, submissions, um, inquiries, you can actually contact the artists at Kazaz at agdenis.edu.tere and then Inusah, Yusif at yahoo.com. Thank you once again for your attention, for your time, and have a nice day. Bye.